how to definitively build the perfect V-shaped male physique. The famous V-shaped physique represents the aesthetic ideal for many men and is considered extremely attractive by both men and women. However, many end up training without specific direction, wasting time and energy on exercises that don't effectively contribute to this goal. Today, you will learn exactly what you need to do to achieve this highly desired physique. The best part is that you only need 5 fundamental exercises to develop this impressive shape. Of course, this transformation won't happen overnight, but if you don't start now following the correct strategies, you'll continue training aimlessly and never reach your goal. Before we begin, please leave your name and the city from where you're watching our content in the comments. To build the perfect V-shaped physique, we need to work primarily on 3 areas: the back, the shoulders with emphasis on the lateral deltoids, and strengthening the abdominals while reducing the waistline. Let's start with the shoulders. Exercise 1. Dumbbell lateral raises. The lateral raise is one of the most effective exercises for developing that wide shoulder look we desire so much for the V-shaped physique. This movement specifically isolates the lateral deltoids, which are the muscles responsible for shoulder width when viewed from the front. Unlike many other shoulder exercises that primarily emphasize the anterior or posterior part, the lateral raise focuses precisely on the region that creates that hanger appearance in the shoulders. To execute correctly, start standing with feet shoulder width apart, holding a dumbbell in each hand at your sides. Maintain a slight bend in your elbows, about 10 to 15 degrees, and this angle should remain constant throughout the movement. This is crucial because if you fully extend your arms, you'll be placing excessive tension on the elbow joint. When initiating the movement, raise your arms laterally until they are approximately parallel to the floor. A common mistake is to raise the dumbbells far above shoulder level, which can transfer tension to the upper trapezius and reduce focus on the lateral deltoids. Another important point: during the lift, slightly rotate your wrists, as if you were pouring water from a bottle. This small rotation better positions the lateral deltoid to receive maximum tension. Many people make the mistake of using body momentum to lift heavier weights, swinging the torso or using the hips to generate momentum. This drastically reduces the effectiveness of the exercise. Prefer to use a weight with which you can maintain complete control and perfect technique. If you don't like doing this exercise or want more variety in your workout, another excellent variation is the cable lateral raise. The advantage of this method is constant tension throughout the movement, as the cable resistance doesn't decrease at the top like what happens with dumbbells due to gravity. For optimal results, I recommend 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. Choose a weight that makes the last repetitions challenging, but without compromising technique. Rest 60 to 90 seconds between sets. Exercise 2. Dumbbell shoulder press. The dumbbell shoulder press is a fundamental compound exercise for those seeking to build more voluminous and powerful shoulders. Unlike the barbell press, which keeps the hands in a fixed position, dumbbells allow a natural rotation of the wrists during the movement, reducing stress on the joints and allowing greater range of motion. This results in more complete recruitment of muscle fibers and, consequently, greater growth potential. The dumbbell press significantly contributes to the V-shaped physique because it develops all portions of the deltoid simultaneously, with special emphasis on the anterior deltoids. Well-developed shoulders create a visual illusion of a wider torso and narrower waist, exactly what we're looking for in the V-shape. To execute correctly, start seated on a bench with a vertical backrest or slightly reclined backward, which offers better stability and reduces the chance of arching the lower back. Hold a dumbbell in each hand at shoulder height, with palms facing forward. This initial position is crucial. Many make the mistake of positioning the dumbbells too far in front of the body, which places excessive tension on the anterior deltoids and reduces the involvement of the middle deltoids, precisely the ones we want to emphasize for that V-look. When initiating the movement, press the dumbbells upward in a straight line, as if you were trying to push the ceiling. It is essential that the dumbbells rise in front of the head and not behind, as taking the weights backward drastically increases the risk of injury to the shoulder and cervical spine. At the top of the movement, the dumbbells should be almost touching, with arms almost completely extended, but without locking the elbows. Control the descent, bringing the dumbbells back to the starting position in approximately 2 seconds. A common mistake is using leg momentum, or arching the back to lift heavier weights. This not only reduces tension in the shoulders, but also increases the risk of injuries. Another important point is to keep the core engaged throughout the exercise, which protects the lumbar spine and improves overall stability. For optimal results, I recommend 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions. Rest 90 to 120 seconds between sets. As this exercise recruits multiple muscle groups and requires a lot of energy, position it at the beginning of your shoulder workout when you're more rested and can apply maximum intensity. Part 2. Wider back. Exercise 1. Pull-ups. Before you think, but I can't do a single pull-up repetition. Don't worry, I'll show you 2 alternatives that will help you progressively gain strength until you master the movement. For now, let's talk about the importance of this exercise. The pull-up is, without a doubt, one of the most effective exercises for developing a wide and powerful back, an essential component of the V-shaped physique. This compound movement simultaneously works several back muscles with special emphasis on the latissimus dorsi, exactly the muscle responsible for that V-shaped back appearance when well developed. It also contributes to the V-shaped physique, not only by developing the latissimus, but also by strengthening the mid-back muscles, lower trapezius, and rhomboids, creating that appearance of dense and voluminous back that makes the torso look like a true V-shape when viewed from behind. For those who can't do pull-ups, the first option is to use resistance bands. Attach a band to the bar and place your knee or foot in the lower loop. The band will provide assistance, especially in the most difficult part of the movement. As you gain strength, you can move to bands with less resistance until completely eliminating this help. The second alternative is to use the assisted pull-up machine, available in many gyms. This machine allows you to select how much weight you want to remove from your body, making the movement easier. Start with an assistance that allows you to perform 8 to 10 repetitions with good technique and gradually reduce the help as your strength increases. Now, to execute the traditional pull-up, start by gripping the bar with your hands, with palms facing forward, and with a grip slightly wider than shoulder width. This wider grip maximizes the work of the latissimus. Begin the movement with arms completely extended, creating a slight depression of the shoulders. When initiating the pull, imagine that you're trying to bring your shoulder blades together and pull your elbows toward the ground, not just pulling yourself up. This mental focus dramatically improves latissimus recruitment. Continue pulling until your chin passes the bar, or ideally, until the bar touches the upper chest. Control the descent in approximately 2 to 3 seconds, resisting gravity. This eccentric phase is crucial. A common mistake is excessively using the biceps during the movement, reducing the stimulus to the back. Focus on initiating the movement by pulling with your back, keeping the biceps as secondary assistance. Another frequent error is swinging the body to generate momentum, which significantly reduces the effectiveness of the exercise. If you're still using assistance, aim for 8 to 12 repetitions. If you can already execute with body weight, 6 to 8 well-executed repetitions per set already offer excellent stimulus. Rest 2 to 3 minutes between sets, as this is a demanding exercise that requires adequate recovery. Exercise 2. Bent over row. The bent over row is one of the most complete and effective exercises for developing a dense, wide, and powerful back. Unlike the pull-up, which works the muscles in a vertical pulling movement, the bent over row offers a horizontal pull, ensuring 3-dimensional development of the back. This exercise targets practically all posterior muscles of the torso, with special emphasis on the latissimus dorsi, middle and lower trapezius, rhomboids, and spinal erectors. This combination of muscles worked simultaneously makes the bent over row a true compound exercise, which maximizes the release of anabolic hormones and accelerates overall muscle development. Another point to highlight is that the bent over row develops the thickness and width of the back simultaneously. While the latissimus gains width, the mid-back muscles gain density, creating that impressive 3-dimensional appearance that makes the back look wider both from the front and from the side. To execute correctly, start standing holding a barbell with a pronated grip, that is, palms facing down and hands positioned slightly wider than shoulder width. Keep your knees slightly bent to protect the lower back and incline your torso forward until it's almost parallel to the floor. This initial position is crucial. Many make the mistake of not inclining enough, reducing the range of motion and the recruitment of target muscles. Before initiating the pull, retract your shoulder blades, as if you were trying to squeeze a pen between them. This pre-tensioning is fundamental to maximize the involvement of back muscles from the beginning of the movement. Now, pull the bar toward your abdomen, ideally touching the lower chest or upper abdominal region. During the movement, focus on pulling using your back, not your arms. Imagine that your arms are just hooks, and the back muscles are what really move the weight. Control the descent for approximately 2 to 3 seconds, resisting gravity. A common error in the bent-over row is excessively using body momentum to move the weight. This transforms the exercise into a momentum-driven pull, drastically reducing the stimulus to the back muscles. Another frequent mistake is allowing the lower back to round during the exercise, increasing the risk of injuries. Always maintain the spine in a neutral position, with a slight natural arch in the lower back. For optimal results, I recommend 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, resting 90 to 120 seconds between sets. A valuable tip: occasionally vary the type of grip in the bent-over row. The supinated grip, with palms facing up, emphasizes the lower part of the latissimus and the biceps more, while the neutral grip, with palms facing each other, reduces stress on the wrists and may be more comfortable for those with joint limitations. Part 3. Strong abdominals and reduced waist. Reducing the circumference is one of the most essential components to highlight the V-shaped physique. No matter how impressive shoulders and back you develop, a more defined waist is crucial to maximize the contrast that creates that V silhouette so desired. Here are 5 fundamental strategies to help you reduce localized fat in the abdominal region. Number 5. Reduce dietary fat. Contrary to what many think, consuming healthy fats doesn't make you fat. However, portion control is essential, since fats contain 9 calories per gram, more than double that of proteins and carbohydrates. Focus on healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish, limiting saturated fats and eliminating trans fats. This change helps regulate hormones like testosterone and insulin, fundamental for abdominal fat metabolism. A good strategy is to limit fats to 20 to 30% of daily calories, prioritizing quality sources that support the hormonal system and cardiovascular health. Number 2, opt for slow-burning carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and sweets cause insulin spikes that favor fat storage, especially in the abdominal region. Replace them with complex carbohydrates with a low glycemic index, such as sweet potatoes, brown rice, oatmeal, and vegetables, which release energy gradually, maintaining stable insulin levels. This not only reduces abdominal fat storage, but also provides sustained energy for intense workouts, essential for building the V-shaped physique. Position most of your carbohydrates before and after workouts, when your body most needs this fuel. Number 3. Reduce consumption of processed foods. Processed foods are full of additives, preservatives, and artificial ingredients that harm metabolism and promote inflammation in the body. This chronic inflammation is directly linked to the accumulation of visceral fat, which concentrates around organs and increases waist circumference. Additionally, these foods generally combine refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and excess sodium, creating a perfect environment for weight gain in the abdominal region. Prioritize whole, fresh foods with recognizable ingredients. If your great-grandfather wouldn't recognize it as food, it probably shouldn't be on your plate. Number 4. Increase the amount and frequency of cardio. Cardiovascular training is a powerful tool for reducing overall body fat and, consequently, abdominal fat. Combine high-intensity cardio with longer sessions of moderate intensity for maximum results. HIIT, for example, accelerates your metabolism for up to 48 hours after the workout through the effect known as EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, while steady-state cardio, performed fasting in the morning, can favor direct fat mobilization. Try to include 2 to 3 HIIT sessions of 20 to 30 minutes per week, alternated with 2 to 3 sessions of 30 to 45 minutes of moderate cardio. This combination maximizes fat burning without compromising the muscle recovery needed to develop the shoulders and back of the V-shaped physique. Number 5. Maintain adequate hydration levels. Water plays a crucial role in fat metabolism. When dehydrated, your body reduces the metabolic rate to conserve energy. Additionally, dehydration is frequently confused with hunger, leading to unnecessary food excesses. Water also assists in the fat breakdown process known as lipolysis, and helps eliminate toxins and metabolic byproducts. To maximize these benefits, consume at least 16 to 18 fluid ounces per 22 pounds, increasing this amount on days of intense training or heat. Another practical tip: drink a large glass of water before meals. This will naturally reduce appetite and prevent excessive calorie consumption. Core strengthening, planks. To complete the construction of the perfect V-shaped physique, we need not only to reduce fat in the abdominal region, but also strengthen all the core musculature. And when we talk about developing a strong, functional, and aesthetically impressive core, few exercises compare to the effectiveness of the plank. The plank is an isometric exercise of static contraction that simultaneously works practically all core muscles. Unlike dynamic exercises like the crunch, which primarily isolates the rectus abdominis, the plank strengthens the entire core structure in a functional position, improving not only appearance, but also the stability and strength necessary for other exercises. To correctly execute the basic front plank, start lying face down on the floor. Support your forearms on the ground with elbows directly below the shoulders and forearms parallel to each other. Fingers can be extended forward or hands can be closed in fists. Choose the most comfortable position for your wrists. Lift the body, supporting yourself only on your forearms and the tips of your toes, forming a straight line from head to heels. Here's the crucial point that many get wrong: the neutral position of the spine. Your spine should maintain its natural curvatures, without excessively arching the lower back or elevating the hips. To find this ideal position, engage the core as if you were preparing to receive a punch in the stomach. Simultaneously, slightly contract the glutes and pull the navel toward the spine. These postural adjustments ensure that you are really working the core muscles, not overloading the lower back. The most common mistakes in executing the plank include letting the hip drop, elevating the hips, positioning the shoulders in front of or behind the elbows, and forgetting to breathe properly. Maintain controlled breathing throughout the exercise. Another frequent mistake is focusing only on execution time, sacrificing technique. It is much more beneficial to maintain a perfect plank for 30 seconds than a plank with compromised technique for 2 minutes. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds, resting 90 seconds between them. As your strength increases, progress to 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds. A valuable tip: include the plank at the end of your workouts or on separate abdominal days. Executing it before heavy compound exercises like squats or deadlifts can compromise your central stability in these movements. Now, one last warning. None of the 5 exercises we went through will have major effects if you commit any of the most common mistakes that most people who train make. To know what they are, we're showing a video right now on the screen where we show and explain each one of them. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.